Yo, 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 what is up? What is up? Hey, 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 hey. We're cooking. We're cooking. We're cooking real soon. We're cooking real good right now. What up, guys? This stream is sponsored by BetUS, so definitely go check them out if you guys have not. I don't know what I was doing tonight on this stream tonight. I don't even have things set up properly. Today was just, it's just been one of those weeks. It's been a crazy week this week, but I kind of wanted to, we haven't live streamed. I mean, we did the shakedown on Friday, so it kind of ruined my whole streaming weekend, I guess, because we had to change. Philly had some stuff to do on Saturday, so I just said, you know what? I'll just skip on the weekend and we'll just roll this week. Just to let you guys know, by the time we start free agency, we're going to be starting our road to free agency streams starting in March. I don't know when I'm doing them. Probably the 1st of March. Probably in the next few days we'll be starting. It will be streaming probably every night until free agency and probably a week into it. So we'll see how that goes as usual. The draft highlight reaction videos, become a member in the pinned comment. We're going to be dropping those in the next couple days because we have a lot. I've been looking over a lot of stuff. We've been doing a lot of stuff. So I want to thank everybody that's been supporting the video, supporting me in general, and just us going through this conversation of how do the Eagles repeat? What moves have to be made by Howie Roseman? Now, it looks like Howie Roseman did put up a little bit of a message for the Eagle fans saying that, it's not gonna be from what I could see from Howie Roseman, what he said at the combine today really has come down to, I don't think it's going to be anything too exciting. It's always exciting. I think there's going to be something in his back pocket because realistically, this roster is 90% fine. Right now, this roster is 90% good right now going into next year. Okay. And realistically, for me, they re-signed Zach Bond. I'm sitting back. I'm relaxing. I'm having a good time. I'm fine with everything. You know what I mean? Then we got some other news from NFL Network, which was really interesting, is that the Eagles might jump in front of, if the Commanders get close to a deal with Myles Garrett, the Eagles are going to jump in and trade for him. They're going to jump in and trade for him. I'm telling you, and even if they, look, at the end of the day, if they don't trade for Myles Garrett and they keep that 32nd pick intact, I'm fine with it. I feel like they can win with what they have. Yeah, you're losing Milt, you're losing Josh Sweat, the lad board there. I'm excited about Jalix Hunt. Nolan Smith should have a 13-sack season next year. I'm really pumped about it. I really am. Offensive side of the ball, we really don't have to worry about nothing, but Kenny G is leaving for free agency. Mekhi Becton, I wonder if he's going to come back. I would think he is. So realistically, I feel like they will re-sign Isaiah Rodgers. They will sign Zach Bond. They will sign Mekhi Becton. I think Milt and Josh Sweat are definitely running. Milton Williams has been connected to the New England Patriots, and it looks like Josh Sweat's been very connected to the Las Vegas Raiders as of right now for big money. Okay, you're getting compensatory picks for both of those guys. You're getting a 3rd-round pick in 26 from Milt. You're getting a 4th-round pick in 26 for Josh Sweat. So the 26th draft, you're literally going to have three third round picks. Because remember, we have our own 3rd-round pick. You're going to have the 3rd-round pick from Milton Williams, compensatory pick, and you're going to have the pick for the Hassan Reddick trade, the 3rd-round conditional for 26 that never turned to a 2nd-round pick. So that will stay as a 3rd-round pick. 3 3rd-round picks in 26, and then you'll have 2 4th-round picks in 26. You know what I mean? So you never really know. Obviously, the combine is Friday. Me and Philly will be streaming, I think, the first 2 days just because we really want to stream the important days. The first day is defensive line, which is a really important one. So we're going to be streaming that, okay? We want to see Abdul Carter and Pierce Jr. from Tennessee. We want to see some of the top edge rushers in this draft. And this is going to be if they trade for Myles Garrett and don't give up that 32nd, I'll be shocked over that. But if they're able to say, you know what, we don't need some big splash, which I'm perfectly fine with, they go into this draft and they go hit on some draft picks. So I'm perfectly fine with it, man. I'm perfectly fine. I've had no problem with it whatsoever. And that's pretty much where I've been kind of sitting, waiting to what's going on. You know what I mean? Kind of sit and wait and see what's going on here. Dad says Myles will not want to go to Washington three playoff wins in 33 years. He might well stay in Cleveland. Every time I see Myles Garrett, every time the Eagles talk about him, okay, sorry, every time the Eagles are mentioned, he's got a smile on his face. He talks about the young dogs on the line. This is a guy that's chasing a Super Bowl ring right now. This is a guy that's hungry for a championship. You put him next to Jalen Carter. At this point, dude, Myles Garrett's a luxury. This isn't a need. This is a luxury pick, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Busy says, I would sign Milton and trade Jordan Davis, Huff, and a first for Myles Garrett. I'm not trading Jordan Davis, bro. I'm not trading Jordan Davis just because Milt's going to cost too much money, bro. $21 million a year. Whatever it's going to be, it's too much money. It makes no sense to re-sign Milton Williams now. It makes no sense. I think Jordan Davis is highly disrespected. The way he takes those double teams, the last 2 games, I thought he played really good. Okay, I think a lot of people, like, when they don't see the stats fly out for Jordan Davis, I think people just want to get rid of him. I don't get the whole hate for Jordan Davis at all. He'll be a lot cheaper to sign. And then on top of everything else, dude, you got to give Thomas Booker a chance. You got to give Moro Ojomo needs a huge chance with this defense, especially at the defensive tackle position. They've done a really good job with both of those guys, in my opinion. Moro Ojomo as a 7th-round pick, especially. You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of good things to take out of it. But at the end of the day, guys, like, you're paying Jalen Carter top money. I don't know what that contract is going to look like, but it's going to be a different contract. There's no doubt about it. You know what I mean? D-Voice, a lot of people are thinking about a laughable trade proposals for Myles Garrett, proposals that would even be rejected in Madden. No, I don't know what it's going to cost, dude, for a 29-year-old player, okay, that's got a big cap hit next year, $18 million. Obviously, he's open to getting his whole deal reworked, redone, okay? It's not impossible, bro. Just like every time the draft comes along, people think they fucking know everything when it comes to the draft. People think they know everything when it comes to the draft. Nobody knows a damn thing about the draft, okay? People know about the players, but people actually think like how the draft is going to go. Everybody's wrong every year. What happened last year? 14 picks straight, offensive players, no quarterbacks taken off the board. Weird things happen like that. Does that happen every year? Definitely not. That opened it wide for the Eagles to get Quinyon Mitchell, which made it very easy to get Quinyon Mitchell. But since no quarterbacks were taken off the board after 14 picks, all offensive players, you're able to make one small jump in front of Green Bay in the second round to go get Cooper DeJean, one of the biggest steals of the draft. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Matt said, would you package Dean in a trade for Myles Garrett? No. Yo, Dean is going to be cheap, dude. I just saw the news today. Like, the patellar tendon injury, like, obviously, he's not going to be back till fucking October, November, most likely. Okay? On top of everything else, I read today that he, like, I forgot what game it was, but his kneecap was in his thigh. Literally, he had a dislocated knee. His knee was in his thigh, and he popped it back out of his knee. I'm not even kidding. Like, that man is going to, like, there's no way that man's getting a big contract. There's no way. He is going to be a steal re-sign. So you have to keep him around. Ben Van Simmeren. Okay. That's another linebacker we have that's coming off a knee injury as well. Okay, and he was a free agent or whatever the hell he is. I know he's off contract this year. The Eagles will probably re-sign him to the practice squad, no doubt. Okay, that really opens up, like, bro, you got to sign Zach Bond. Like, there's nobody. Yeah, Trotter's there, but, dude, Trotter hasn't fucking played. He's barely played. What do you expect him to do? And by the way, guys, I'm not putting up the chat, on the screen because it's slowing up I have to use something different to do the chat because it's slowing up my computer, and it must be like a bug or something because it slows up, but I'll read every super chat. I appreciate it so much from everybody. Okay. Appreciate it from everybody. I'll figure out another way to do it. I know there's a few other ways. I haven't had any time, but House Cat with the first super chat of the night. He said, what up, champ? When should we expect a Bond signing? It has to happen since the Super Bowl. If we don't get Bond, I'm crashing out. Dude, if it doesn't happen, it's gonna be a totally different me on camera. You're gonna see like me pissed. I will be pissed, bro. You got nobody. I don't care what Trotter. I don't care if Trotter's there, bro. I don't care. He hasn't played. You literally let Bond walk. You're literally hitting the reset button. Like Oren Burks is out there too. How much is he gonna cost? Probably not much. He had a good playoff run with us. How much? He'll definitely get paid a little bit more, maybe $1.5 to $2 million a year, something like that. So we'll see how it goes, man. Bond is like the main focal point of this re-signed free agent. He's the main focal point. Bond doesn't get signed, bro. It's gonna be ugly, dude. It's gonna be ugly. You know. Let's see. Appreciate that super chat. Deep Voice said, "Do you think Huff is more attractive trade proposals to teams than Goddard?" No, probably not, because now Huff has an actual price tag on him. There's been rumors as of today that, this is pure speculation, obviously, but there has been some rumors that the Atlanta Falcons might actually take Bryce Huff and take his entire contract. Now, the defensive coordinator over there in Atlanta worked with Bryce Huff when he was with the Jets when he had that 10-sack season. So that's really the big connection when it comes to a trade like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know where they're going with this entire situation with Bryce Huff, but dude, if they didn't play him in the Super Bowl, if they didn't even play him in the Super Bowl, they're as a healthy scratch, bro. That should tell you 100%, dude. That was a panic signing, bro. $17 million a year. Panic signing. Hassan Reddick left, and he panicked. I don't think Fangio even wanted him. The first day he got to training camp, I remember Fangio was asked the question of, can Bryce Huff be a 3-down edge rusher? And he said he's not there yet, bro. And you signed to $17 million a year? Come on now. Come on now. It's crazy. Adam with the super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. He said, "What up, Joey, man? I don't know why this chip feels different than 17. 17 was for fans. 25 was for the players who were hated on. How do you feel about Miles G? Personally, I'd rather not give up our future for him." Well, it really depends. It depends. I feel like the 17 was really for the fans of never winning a championship to now being champions for the first time. This wasn't for the logo for me. This was more for Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. I agree, all the players that were definitely hated. I'm so glad to see that Jalen has a ring now, and now they can continue off of their success. So I feel really good about that. The rumors about Myles Garrett, and I don't know what you're going to be giving up for him. I honestly don't know. I don't know what they're looking for. Okay, he's 29 years old, coming on, and needs a rework deal. If he was 26, 27, I could see a lot of first-round picks involved. But realistically, we have to think of it like this. Our 32nd pick this season, this draft, is literally a second-round pick. Our pick for 26, our first-round pick for 26, potentially could be a second-round pick. And you have to think of it that way. You know what I mean? Nothing's given. I'm not saying that the Eagles can't win a championship or it's impossible, or I'm going to be cocky and concede that they can get there again, but I think they can get there again with this roster. This roster is still 90% intact. In my opinion, it is 90% still intact, man. So I don't know how much it's going to cost, man. I can't see it being 2 first-rounders. I think it's got to be fair on both sides. And obviously, they're gonna leave it up to Myles Garrett to go where he wants. They're gonna give him the respect. The Browns front office will give him the respect. Plus, Andrew Berry and Howie Roseman have a really good relationship. Andrew Berry was the right-hand man of Howie Roseman a few years ago before he left and became the GM for the Browns. So there's good relations. We've practiced with the Browns and joint practice and again in preseason games the last few years. So Myles Garrett has been around the guys, and there's some good things to take out of it. You know what I mean? Appreciate that super chat. Definitely appreciate so much, man. Busy says, "I'm not sold on Bond. It was just one season. I would get Dre Green." Why? You're not sold on Bond after 1 year? Why? Dre Greenlaw just tries to punch Big Dom in the face, and you want Dre Greenlaw? Come on now. You don't want why wouldn't you want the guy that's under Vic Fangio? I don't get it, man. I mean, you finally have a linebacker, and now you just want to be like, oh, it was a fluky year. No, definitely not. If you want to add to Zach Bond, then add. Like I would honestly, I'd bring back Bond and I'd bring back fucking Oren Burks. I'd bring both of them back, honestly. So Chris says any GM that says we're not trading a player like Garrett is actually saying we are trading Miles for the best offer we get. And like the news came out, Jeremy Fowler on ESPN went on NFL Network and was like, the Eagles, if the Washington Commanders get close in a deal to trade for Myles Garrett, the Eagles are going to swoop in and get him. The Eagles are going to swoop in and get the deal done. That's what's going to happen. I believe it. And you know what? I believe it a lot, actually. House Cow with the super chat. Appreciate it so much. Says Jalen. All right, hold on one second. Jalen and the boys' dogs got a ring. How many times have you rewatched the Super Bowl in our mic'd up game? I've seen it at least 10 times. How about you? I've watched it about 4 times with my girlfriend, the actual game. I've watched a lot of the unscripted through the playoffs as well a few times, especially the Snow Bowl game, which is one of my favorite ones from this season. So, yeah, we always rewatch all that stuff, man. It's been a lot. So, you know what I mean? So, appreciate the super chat, man. Dungan Wright says, tough question. If Taylor Swift went back as an Eagles fan, would you embrace her or is she forever? I don't care about her. I don't even care, dude. I care about none of that. Okay? Like, let her stay on her side now. She picked her side. Let her stay on her side. I mean, I don't even care about that, dude. Like, honestly, doesn't matter to me. You know, appreciate that super. Q Ball says, with the super chat, says that Bond gone, try to get Bolton and re-sign. Bolton would be a very good one for the Eagles. Bolton's a great tackler. He's real rangy. I wouldn't mind getting him if he's at a good cost. Why not? You know? So Chris says burned it to DVD. The Eagles Nest says they're straight delusional and will continue to be an awful franchise. The right move is to trade for Garrett, but that GM worried about his job and don't got the guts to do it. Oh, who's the Washingtons? I mean, look, Washington. We have to realize that Washington is going to get better. Washington has got cap space. They got free agents. You know, they're gonna lose Zach Ertz. De'Ami Brown's gonna be gone. They're gonna lose some guys. They're gonna get weapons. I mean, Jaden Daniels is already better than Jalen Hurts after one season, bro. Like he hasn't even played a second, third fucking year where teams are blueprinting against him yet. You know what I mean? And I think on top of the Eagles' offense this year, the Eagles' offense has to change. The Eagles can't look the same. Obviously, you're going to run the ball a lot, but under Kevin Patula, I think it was a good hire. I think that's the major constant you're going to have. You know, the difference between Brian Johnson and Kevin Patula is Kevin Patula has been coaching for fucking years. He's been scheming for years. Way ahead. Kevin Patula has been here the last few seasons. It's the best move for the Eagles, no doubt. Ryland says Milton going to get his bag, which he deserves. I just wish we could retain him. I like him over Sweat. He's a better player than Davis. Davis not lived up to his first round pick. I get that whole thing, dude. I get that Davis hasn't really realistically lived up to being that first round draft selection. Okay, Milton Williams is probably the better player. Will the Eagles try to retain him or try to give it a shot to retain him? Maybe, but at the price he's going to get, it's probably not going to happen. I don't really get the Jordan Davis hate, okay? I understand. I still think he's a very solid player. Those last 2 games, he had 2 sacks the last 2 games of the season. Yes, his snaps went down during the year, but let me tell you, bro, stats don't pull up because what he does is he takes on those double teams. He's an immovable fucking wall that's just gonna sit there. It creates. You don't know what that does for other guys on that defensive line, how successful they're going to be when he's taking those doubles. Okay, especially if you add a Myles Garrett into the mix on top of it. Okay, the linebackers have great fits when they're playing downhill. You don't realize how valuable Jordan Davis is. To sign Milton now makes absolutely no sense. You sign Milton now, the more realistic option is going to be letting Milton walk, let him get his bag. Jordan Davis gets signed. Maybe they pick up his 5th-year option, bro. They could pick up his 5th-year option. Maybe it's not going to be expensive after this season because he is a first-round pick. And then obviously, see if you want to extend him. And then later on, sure, Jalen Carter is going to be the highest paid DT in the fucking league. It's going to happen, bro. It's going to happen. We got Q Ball with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. I bring up Bolton because of resume, consistent, cheaper, and younger. I like Bond, but if he gets the bag, then fuck of luck. If we trade for Garrett and he restructures, might be able to retain some guys. But no, I mean, there's going to be a lot of restructures. There's going to be some restructures. There might even be some extensions. I mean, you look at Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts' contract. He's got a $21 million cap hit, lowest of all quarterbacks in the league. They can mess with Jalen Hurts' contract, give him more money up front and extend it or do whatever, restructure his contract and save a whole bunch of money. There are loopholes in contracts. The Jalen Hurts contract, who cares about that? We don't even care about that. He can do whatever he wants with it. Saquon Barkley, he pretty much has this year, and then 26 is an option year. They can extend him and save money. Lane Johnson, they can restructure for $3 million. I mean, Bradbury and Slay, depending on I know it's like 12.5 dead cap or something. They only save about 7-8 million on both of those players, but you're taking on a $12 million dead cap. We'll see what happens with the James Bradbury if Slay is coming back at a certain price. I don't know what's going to happen with that as well, but we have to keep everything in fold, dude. The Eagles will have cap space. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. This is, guys, don't go into this free agency thinking the Eagles are going to make some big splashes. This is a retaining year for the Eagles. This is your free agency is re-signs, restructures, maintain your fucking roster, what you had last year. You're not going to be able to bring everybody back, but I think there will be one big splash going into it. So just got to, I think we'll be all right. Appreciate that super bit. Chris Alex says, worst case, Jordan Davis is a starter at DT his whole career. He is a different player than Cox, and that is no. He's going to be a way better player than Cox. You thought Cox was good in his prime. Let me tell you something. Jalen Carter is going to be Aaron Donald 2.0, bro. If Aaron Donald, I mean, I'm telling you right now, that's the closer you want. That's a closer, bro. That's what we have with Hassan Reddick on the edge. But as a DT, that man is a closer. That man is a unrelenting force from quarter 1 to quarter 4 when the clock strikes 0. That man is full of piss and vinegar from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. It's nuts, man. That man's going to get a bag like there's no tomorrow. There's no doubt about it, bro. No doubt about it. Chris got to the Browns could trade Garrett on March 12th, designated as a June 1st trade. It could be a late trade. That's the draft is so loaded of D-line. I'm fine with not getting Miles if we draft the right guy. No, I don't even care, dude. Like if they don't get Myles Garrett, I don't even care, dude. I don't. Because I think depth at DT is really good. Like I think they're going to double down on. I think they'll get edge if they don't go for anybody in free agency. So if they don't get some big splash, or if they don't get trade for a Trevon Walker or something like that, I think realistically they go after an edge rusher, and I think there's 5 really good ones that can go in that first round if they don't want to trade that pick back. But if there's still a lot of playmakers on the defensive side of the ball at 32, I think they're still going to trade that pick back like 5 to 10 spots. I think that's a whole nother thing that they could do. But I have no issue with that, bro. The one and only Rondon Smith, did you get Reddick back? No Reddick, no. I don't want Reddick back. From Howie's quote from today, the Eagles are going to produce players, bro. We have to realize now we're not going after free agents constantly every year. Like they're going to go after certain guys for depth or maybe a mid-tier signing or something like that. But realistically, guys, we're in a new era of Eagles football now. Now the more you draft well, the less free agent, the more money you're going to have to spend. The more you draft well, the better you produce, the less money you'll have to spend, and the more money you'll have. That's the whole point of it, dude. GG says, "What up, Joey? Finally made it to your live, even though I'm working as we speak." What's going on, G? I hope you're having a good night, man. Easy says, K-Niners, newsflash, we need 3 safeties. McCollum sucks, Sidney Brown, Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of our backup safeties, bro. If there's like one thing they need to really go all out on. See, the problem is like Fangio likes Tristan McCollum over Sidney Brown because he's better in cover. He's a better downhill tackler. I think there's a total opposite thing going on. McCollum is a better tackler downhill, and his coverage is horrible. Sidney Brown is reckless going down for fucking tackles. Like Sidney Brown, I think there is something there with him, but it seems like Fangio doesn't really like him that much, to be honest. You know what I mean? So Reed Blankenship has 1 more year left on his contract. So I don't know what he's going to be looking for contract-wise. It's probably going to be a lot more. He got extended this year. He got, early last offseason, he got extended through 25. So, no, I don't want Javon Holland. I don't want those Miami Dolphin crybabies. Bro, what I'm really shocked over is that Fangio never took players from Miami to bring to Philly. I'm actually surprised over that. And that's more of a shock to me. That's more of a shock to me. Housecat said, I believe our rookies, appreciate the super chat. Said, I believe our rookies stepped up. Will be here for many years. Thoughts? We didn't win the Lombardi without them. I'm excited to see them continue to develop as Eagles. Do you think they will wander? Well, no, I mean, no, I think they're going to continue what they've been. I mean, I'm excited for Booker at defensive tackle. Moro Ojomo. I'm excited for. I mean, Jalix Hunt's been one of my favorites. I mean, I want Will Shipley to get better. I mean, the number 2 running back spot's going to be very interesting as well going forward. So I kind of want to continue. Let me duplicate this stream. This way I could see. I can click on, actually, no, that's not going to work. Let me do it this way. Yeah, that's better. So this way I don't mess with the chat, and then I can look at the actual chat on another thing. So that's good. Okay. Are we good? We're good. Okay. Sorry, I had to fix something real quick. Yeah, Jalix Hunt is definitely going to be one of my top players going into this offseason. I'm not even kidding. Man is gonna, the way he developed, like really from the playoffs on. Yeah, they should have started him a lot earlier in the season, bro. They should have started him a lot earlier. Sorry. So that's where I'm at with that. Appreciate that super chat, House Cat. Nobody's wandering, bro. Everybody's hungry now. Do you know how far along these rookies are? They go through the playoffs. They win a Super Bowl. Do you know how far along they are? Like, they're vets at this point. Like, they're veterans at this point. Like, it's crazy, like, how mature that they're going to be, knowing what they went through in one season with the Eagles. And that's, you know what I mean? And on top of the mentorship from Slay, from Graham, from maybe Bradbury, from some of the other guys. So, it definitely it helps. Rich with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Says, we will sign Garrett and get a draft pick on edge. Just wait, Joey. We've got this back to back. Well, we'll see what happens, man. I'm excited, dude. Like, you think coming off a Super Bowl, the last time we came off a Super Bowl, bro, I didn't even know how depressing was that shit. That shit was the most that was a very depressing offseason. It was, man. It was a very depressing offseason, no doubt. No doubt. But Rich, I appreciate the optimism, my friend. I appreciate it so much. We got Clark. Remember, for 25 months of the camp counselor tier, says, I'm excited for free agency, draft, etc. I'm in no way am I giving a Georgia dog for Miles. I'd rather draft or get someone else. Smith Jr. is going to be our closer. Who's coming out with this news that we're trading a young guy to the Browns for fucking... Realistically, if you trade Nolan Smith to the Browns for Myles Garrett, you literally did nothing. You added nothing. You created a hole for your future, especially. You didn't get better, period, whatsoever. No, not at all, man. Madalena, sorry. Member for 23 months, says, hey, Joey, nearly 2 years. Damn. If I had a drink, I'll just just with my water here. I appreciate it so much. It means a lot. Pick up a membership, guys. We do draft content on the regular stuff for everybody, but the draft highlight reactions, we do draft highlight reactions for members only. So go pick up a membership. $2 a month. That's it. That's all you need. For all the extra content, it's $2 a month for it. Go pick up one. Go pick up one. Appreciate that, James, for sticking around, man. Ron says, on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being absolutely not to 10 being 100%, it's happening. How likely do you think we get Myles Garrett, Myles next to JC, bro? Like, Jesus Christ. I think I would say a 7. I would say a 7. I would say we're going in a good direction of it. You know, it's still very early process right now. We still got a couple more weeks, but I think a solid 7, which is a pretty good direction right now. Every time I see Myles Garrett in an interview, and someone says, "Oh, the Philadelphia." Every time they say Philadelphia, his face just he's happy. I could see it, dude. I could see he wants to come to the Eagles, man. I could see it. You know. Chris Scott said, "I think Jalen Hunt will put up 15 pounds of muscle and explode next season like no one's been." You know what I've liked too, Chris? I've liked too because the Eagles like to put these edge rushers in coverage, and I felt like the Eagles kind of went, you know, Fangio kind of strayed away from that a little bit and let these guys attack more, which I actually really liked. And Jalen Hunt, he's a perimeter guy. Like in preseason of last year, like he was covering running backs on wheel routes. He was covering big tight ends. He's got he gets off blocks really well. Like this was a safety transformed into an edge rusher at a really small school in Houston Christian. Like yeah. It's there, bro. But I'm glad they did it in some games, but not as much as I thought they were going to do it. So, yeah, seemed like it's worked out, man. Yeah, I mean, Jalen Hunt putting up some weight, no doubt. Be another off season for him. And, we'll see what happens. I think he's going to have, man, the way he was driving people back in the playoffs, dude. Damn. How many sacks did he have? How many sacks did he have this year? 3? 3 sacks? He had 1 against the Giants against Drew Lock, and he had like 2 in the playoffs. It was the Rams game, I think, and I think the Super Bowl, right? I think so. If I'm mistaken, I'm not really sure. Definitely, guys, hit the like button if you guys have it. Subscribe if you guys have it. We have a video already done for tomorrow. I appreciate everybody that's been really supporting the videos. It means a lot, by the way. From you guys are the MVPs, man. I don't say it enough, but Benjamin Allen says, "Go get Trevon Walker, another Bulldog guy. Jalen Davis and Dean and Ringo." No, yeah. Since they paid JOK, okay. I wonder what they're gonna do now. I mean, he's got 1 more year left on his deal. He's got 1 more year left on his deal. Trevon Walker coming off a 10.5 sack season. I mean, it wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be a bad move, man. Wouldn't be a bad move. Another move I would definitely try to hit up on that. So we'll see. We got Derek Rivera. Welcome to the Slasher tier, my friend. Thank you so much for joining up, my friend. Thank you so much. You'll have that extra content real soon. Definitely hit on those memberships if you guys have it. It's really membership season for this channel when it comes to the draft and all that, because you guys get a lot of extra content during this time. I need to figure out ways for having member stuff during the season. I'm trying to figure out some things there, but Chris Scott says, "I'll say this: Howie and Andrew Berry were close friends. Guarantee they talked in private about Garrett. Wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't shock me." And that's technically not tampering because, They talk, bro. GG says, "Wouldn't mind Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals." I think he's like 30 years old, bro. I don't know if they go down that route with him. If they were able to trade for him for literally nothing, I don't know. I think he's like 30, though. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, look, Myles Garrett's 29, so... The Eagles, I was high on Mike Green in November, but Buddy went from being a projected day 2 pick to being a top 10. If he kills the combine, he definitely going top 15. Yeah, maybe. G said, "Wouldn't mind if Trey Henderson." Hold on. Clark says, "Over under 12.5 sacks for Nolan Smith Jr." I'm going to say over, bro. I think he gets 13 sacks. I do. James Madalena says, do you think we get another wide receiver? Honestly, dude, Jahan Dotson's going to be here. It really depends if they want to sign Paris back to the roster. I really want to see Anaya Smith do some things this offseason. Like, I think it's time. Like, it's time now. Anaya Smith needs to really – if Anaya Smith has another bad fucking offseason, he's not going to – he's a wasted pick. I mean, he's obviously a fifth rounder, whatever he was. I thought Anaya Smith was going to be the starting wide receiver. The starting wide receiver 3, man. He was a big disappointment, I got to say. I thought he was a very big disappointment going into camp. Paris Campbell, I think, could get re-signed. They actually activated him for the playoffs, and he was like a guy that was either blocking or he was. So, I mean, that's a veteran guy they can always bring back if they want. I don't know if they go after another receiver. Jahan Dotson was a steal, in my opinion. I know they're not using him, but they used him in the big moments, something that Quez Watkins could never do. They could never use him in those big moments. And yes, sure, they don't really throw to Quez that much. They didn't. Olamide Zaccheaus was another guy I don't think they ever gave an opportunity for. But let me tell you, man, they did a fantastic job with Jahan Dotson, especially in the Super Bowl, bro. I mean, he was a big part of that Super Bowl. That 27-yard fucking catch going up that right sideline. Then he had another one on the left sideline, a catch and run. Fantastic, man. I always want to see is Jahan, but look, having Jahan on the field, he only cost a little bit over $3 million, so he's cheap. Having Jahan, you can move Devontae Smith in the slot. You can move A.J. Brown in the slot. That's the greatest thing about having Jahan Dotson around. Because he's a legit weapon. He's a threat, dude. Did you see him burn that guy? I mean, Dan Quinn was like saying he was entitled during camp, and he wasn't even projected to be the number 2 or the number 3 receiver. I mean, Zaccheaus over Jahan Dotson, like, that guy's got a fucking ego problem the size of Texas. Oh, my bad. The chat's not showing up. That guy's got an ego problem the size of Texas, bro. That's fucking ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So primetime Stephen. By the way, sorry about the flickering of the chat. Primetime Stephen Joyce. Welcome to the Camp Counselor tier, my friend. Thank you so much for joining up, my friend. Thank you so much. The extra content will be coming soon for you guys. Thank you so much for joining up, man. Means a lot. So much. So much. Let's see here. Clark's at 13, Smith, Carter 8 to 10. Keep balling there a few. Dean is going to be a weapon. EC1 says NFL Network has taken wide receiver at 31st. No. You mean 32nd? No. Why are we taking a receiver, bro? Like, what? Like, why? That makes no sense, dude. Is that Mel Kiper? Mel Kiper's drafts are fucking horrible now. Clark says Dotson happened to be an Eagles. Gigi says Jahan is fine, but but he does catch the ball when Hurts throws it to him, and that's true. And when it matters the most, and he's been in those situations before, bro. He's been in those situations before. You know what I'm saying? Gage says Dotson was a good trade. We get him for another year where he will be more comfortable. Yeah. Because just remember, dude, when you trade for a guy right before the season starts, like when we trade for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in 22, bro, like he wasn't good the first few weeks. Like it took him time. It just takes time sometimes, Gage says so many mocks have us going linebacker, not happening. No, definitely not. No. Oh, Daniel Jeremiah put that out? The fuck? Why? Matt says, do you think we trade back on our 32nd pick? Yes, I do. Tremendously. Unless, there's somebody there the Eagles know they can't afford to trade back for. But if there's, still 5 good players on the board, they're going to trade back, not only get a pick for 26, they'll trade back and get more picks. And then you have another second rounder. You know what I mean? So I think that trading back is definitely definitely could happen, no doubt. Kansas Donovan Zero is an underrated edge rusher in this class. I know he has power concerns, but his technical skills are incredibly advanced. I got to check him out. Like I said, I've literally just started all my homework on all these on the draft and all of that. So by Friday, I'm going to be knowing a lot more about some of these guys too. I'm doing a lot of my own homework as well. So Dad says all comes down if we resign Bond. I think they should still draft a linebacker regardless in the later rounds, though. Why don't they draft another guy? I mean, Ben Van Sermon's coming off a knee injury. Trotter Jr. obviously is sitting right there. I think they should add another linebacker. I don't see why not. I think they should try to add another running back between the 5th and 7th rounds, to be honest with you. You know? D. Brad Hagee, what's going on, man? So I think Dotson has a bigger role this year with Patul, especially on 3rd down. Could he be one of the new wrinkles they add in to keep the offense fresh? Yeah, of course. But honestly, it's just like Saquon being in the backfield and defense is selling out to stop Saquon, but making Hurts beat you with his arm. It's almost the same thing where if they put Dotson to the outside, you can move A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith on the inside and do different things because respectfully, they still got to respect Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson, dude, like, we don't think about him much, but bro, he's a player. Like, he just doesn't have pressure. He doesn't really have pressure on him. But when the time is right, he shows up, and he's done it because he's a first-round pick. He was a number 1 receiver, or a number 2, realistically, for a 1 to a 2 for Washington. You know what I mean? And that shit doesn't faze him at all, man. It doesn't faze him. Let's see. The Eagles next to Jock Campbell from linebacker from Alabama can play edge too. He's worth I want if all the top-tier edge are gone at 32. Yeah, sure. House Cat with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Thoughts on MR? Who's MR? I'm trying to figure out who MR is. Jake Elliott. We know he was 120% in the Super Bowl, but the missed points coming up to it, what do you think they do? Any kicker competition? I think they should add somebody in. I think they should put somebody there during camp just to kind of make him, worry a little bit. I don't know. I mean, yeah, before the Super Bowl, he missed 5 kicks the last 5 games. That's what he missed 5 kicks in 5 games. But the Super Bowl, though, he was, if you guys didn't know, like 5 hours before the Super Bowl started, okay? Oh, Mr. J. I'm like, who is MR? Sorry. I can't read today. I'm special ed, so that's what it comes down to. Yeah, I think they should give him some competition. I think he kind of, I thought he ended on a really high note. So we'll see what happens, man. I like the punter. I like the kicker. You know what I mean? Hopefully he can look, I think they should start him out in camp, like preseason, and let's see what he does. And if he starts to miss during preseason, that first game, then I think they should bring somebody in by that time and see what happens. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Appreciate the super chat, man. It means a lot. Means a lot. Oh, and guys, by the way, if you guys have not, because we'll be revealing even more. We'll be revealing even more. Definitely check out the Philly Shakedown podcast shirts. They have been going crazy. We have the champion shirt, full high-sprung polyester fabric, absolutely fantastic. If you guys haven't checked it out, a lot of people have bought so far. Great fabric, doesn't peel, doesn't fade, doesn't crust. It's a high quality shirt. You get what you pay for. Me and Philly don't mess around when it comes to merch. We really don't. We have a really nice artist. These shirts take about 45 minutes to make. They take a while to make. So shout out to the Digital Print House in Florida for doing this for us. If you guys haven't checked out that shirt, check out the Main Thing t-shirt as well. High sprung cotton, doesn't peel, doesn't fade, doesn't crust, nothing. High quality print. The Main Thing t-shirt have been going like crazy. We're kind of now making to order now. just because a lot of people have ordered, and you know, we'll see what happens, but we appreciate everybody that's been ordering these shirts as well. There's obviously other ones we came out with. They come in hoodies as well. We have the World Champion shirt. It's a really nice cartoonish photo thing, and people like that type of stuff. If you guys haven't checked out, we won that John t-shirt, hoodie and t-shirt. We got that one with the Super Bowl trophy, with the hand holding the Super Bowl trophy. So get all that stuff as well. So I appreciate it so much. I'll actually put the link in the live chat if you guys want to order. It's obviously supporting of the Philly Shakedown with me and Philly 500, and we do appreciate it so much. So we do appreciate it. So let me put that link so we're good to go. Oops. Sorry. So let me know if that link's working, by the way, to order stuff there. Appreciate it so much. Benjamin Allen says, Joey, would you get Monster Fims released him back to Barkley for the low? Yeah, I saw that Monster got released. God, what was Raheem Mostert? He was a 7th round pick for the Eagles, a 6th round pick. I thought he was like a 6th, 7th round pick, something like that. I forgot what he was. But let's see here. Prime 7 Joyce says, you and Philly weren't the same Sam Howell. No. Matt Corral jerseys. Matt Corral, not Sam Howell. I know people get confused. People get confused. It's the Matt Corral jerseys. Oh, yeah, they're coming out. They're coming out on draft day. Let's see if the luck continues. You know what I mean? Alfredo says, Dotson is a great receiver. Been saying that there are receipts. We just don't give him enough targets. What he did during the Giants game before the playoffs is what he could do all the time. Yeah. Remember the Giants game? We sat everybody. JAHAN was catching fucking everything, bro. That the talent's there, bro. Let's see. Monster was undrafted. We signed him. Oh, okay. I thought we drafted him. That was what, 2000. God, 2015. What do you get? What was it? 2015 draft? I don't even fucking remember what draft that was. We have Muscletron with a super chat. Thank you so much. He says, thoughts on Lou Nichols signing? Yeah, look, it's just a re-sign running back for depth, really. Tyron Davis Price. Like, I actually liked all these running backs. I liked a lot. I liked all of them in preseason. They all looked really good. Tyron Davis Price is probably my favorite one. He was the one that was with the 49ers as a backup, never got much playing time. He's more of a shifty back for the Eagles, packs a punch a little bit. But I'm ready for Will Shipley, man. I'm excited to see is Will Shipley going to be that guy behind Saquon Barkley. Kenny G's not coming back. I think we all know that. Let's see. YNG Carp says, thoughts on Fred Johnson. Yeah, Fred Johnson's a free agent. I thought he struggled in the beginning, and then I thought he really did a good job. I thought he did a pretty good job there. As like he had to take over for Mekhi Becton. Mailata. He took over not Mekhi Becton. He took over for Jordan Mailata when he was out. I thought he did good. I thought he struggled, and then he kind of, he did a lot better as the game went on. So I think he's a good player. I don't think he's a bad player at all. I think he's a nice backup for us. That right guard spot is going to be the big question. Is Mekhi Becton? I can't see him going somewhere else, bro. You went through all that shit with the Jets, the fan base, the media. They all called you a bust, bro. You find your family in Philadelphia. For playing guard for one whole season with the Eagles, what is it going to cost? I don't know if it's going to cost as much as everyone thinks it's going to. But I'm excited for Tyler Steen. Tyler Steen's a better right guard than he is left guard. When he took over on that left side I didn't really like him on the left side too much. That right side, he's a little bit better, but he struggled in that Super Bowl, bro. He was the main reason why Hurts threw that fucking pick, by the way. Don't blame Hurts for that pick that he threw the Super Bowl. That was on Tyler Steen. He whiffed on that block and got the Jalen Hurts real early and had to throw it. I had no time really. He didn't know what to do with it at that point at that moment. So, Trevor Keegan from Michigan, I'm excited for him going into the offseason program. So signing Mekhi Becton, and then obviously if Lane Johnson retires in a couple seasons, then you can move him to that right guard spot. Sorry, that right tackle spot if you really want to do that, you know. So we'll see, man. Let me make sure that this is working good. Okay, it's working good. I'm just making sure it's working good. That's all. Okay. Make sure I can see both chats. Make sure both chats aren't messing around with me. House Cat says, y'all talk about a physical running back. Is Saquon not physical? I'm asking for no hate. I'm curious. Do you mean heavy ass back? Well, I don't know if you're talking to me or talking to anyone else. If you're talking about somebody like somebody physical, somebody, I mean, like I say, like I think Will Shipley's a physical back for his size. I think he is. He carries guys on his back for an extra few yards. But having two guys that do almost the same thing, obviously Saquon's the better player, obviously. But yeah, sure. But I wouldn't mind a bruiser back, a heavy back for short yardage. Sure, I wouldn't mind that either. I've been dying ever since LeGarrette Blount left after 17. I've always wanted a fucking bruiser back behind this line. Jesus. Just imagine Saquon Barkley, Will Shipley, and they just keep one guy on practice squad and protect them every single week. I wouldn't even mind that, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? D. Brad says Becton will sign whatever Howie puts in front of him. He's in love with Philly. Yeah, got some good things going on with him. So correct, Joey, on Steen in the Super Bowl. Yeah, that was definitely. Yeah, that was definitely on Tyler Steen 100%. There's no doubt of it. Yeah, Arthur Porter says Abdul Carter dropped out of the combine. I know when I made the video about it, people are going to be like, dude, it's going to be impossible. It's going to, like, dude, like, anything can happen, bro. I mean, I know it's far-fetched. We're the last pick of the first round. I get it. Okay, I want to see these interviews. I want to see, like, what's being said. And usually during the combine, this is where a lot of negotiations take place, not only for free agency, for trades, but this is where you're going to get some talks for draft trades as well. The Eagles can't go that far up. Like, they can go up maybe 10 spots, maybe. But to go up even more than that at this point, I don't know if that's even possible. You know, it's way too far for me. No team is going to let the Eagles just go up in this draft and it's just, look, if there's a stupid team out there, let me tell you, the Eagles are at 32. They're sitting in the back of the room right now. Dude, these other teams better make some good picks because I'm telling you right now, if they leave like the one guy that they're going to mistakenly not take, the Eagles are taking that guy. They're not even going to trade back at that point. I'm telling you. Ron said if we wanted, we could pick up Dotson's fifth-year option since he was a first-round pick to keep him here for the next 2 seasons. I think he's the perfect wide receiver. Me too. I keep forgetting about the fifth-year option. Yeah, I mean, realistically, this year he's $3.5 million. Like, he's really cheap, beyond cheap. Like, I don't see the Eagles moving him. Like, why? Why would you? Like, why would you even? I mean, you get rid of him, you create another hole. That's a huge hole. It's a huge hole. That's a disaster. Honestly, because then you're forced to keep Devontae Smith and AJ Brown on the outside. But with Jahan Dotson in the game, Jesus, you know. GG with the super chat says, Joey, you're the GM. Who you picking at 32? I'm either going to pick one of the best edge rushers, but if there's more players on the board, depending who's there, it just depends. It really depends on if the Eagles even have this pick by the time the draft is here. I don't know if they're even going to have this pick. They might not have this pick by that time. You know what I mean? But if I'd use that pick, honestly. It's hard for me to say, but I'd go all out. I'd go all out for Myles Garrett, or I would get Pierce Jr. from Tennessee because he's got these off the field problems. James Pierce Jr. I would get because I feel like he's going to drop. Is he going to drop that far? I don't know. The Eagles might have to trade up a little bit, but we'll have to see. But it's a tough spot to be in because it's literally a second round pick. It's the last pick in the first round, so you're not really guaranteed anything. So we'll see. Someone's gonna fall, bro. Somebody's gonna fall that shouldn't have fell. I'm telling you. And the Eagles have done their homework, bro. They've done their homework. You know. Alfredo says, Gage, I want Abdul or Carter. I mean, we're going to need another good pass rusher if BG isn't coming back and we're already losing Milton as well. Well, it's not even if BG doesn't come back, bro. Like, BG comes back, great. Like, you would think I'm crazy to say, yo, re-sign BG at 37 years old, but, dude, I know this guy could still play. Like, as a pure heavy rotational piece, he ain't going to get many snaps, but I think he'll give you a lot. I mean, you take like 12, 13 weeks ago when he was in that Rams game. Look what he was doing in that fucking Rams game. And then he tore his tricep. And then he got to the Super Bowl. He should have had like 2 sacks in that game. Maybe 1 sack he got held on. It's got a lot of freaking value, bro. It's got a lot of value. By the way, this stream is sponsored by BetUS. So definitely go check them out if you guys have not. Appreciate it so much. Jesus, how we will make them pay if you let a guy fall. Yeah. They're sitting in the back of the room, man, just waiting. These teams better make the right decisions, bro, because it's going to get real ugly. We got 232 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the stream. Click the link in the pin live chat for a membership to get the extra draft reaction, the draft highlight reaction content. We'll be putting a lot of that out real soon. Check out the Philly Shakedown merch. If you guys haven't checked that out, a link is in the live chat for the new Jalen Hurts shirts. They've been selling like crazy. Definitely go check them out. Check them out. Appreciate it. DC, Abdul Carr will be in Philly before his rookie contract is up, guaranteed. Ron says, could see Howie trading out the first round to get more picks. Yes, 100%. 100%. Not only will he get picks, just think about it. Not only is he going to have picks for this year, he'll trade a pick for the 26 season. Because as of right now, the Eagles are going to have 3 thirds and 2 fourth-round picks already. That's going to be a lot of ammo. He's going to add more ammo to that draft on top of it. You know? Rex sings to yo, what's up, Joey? Having BG on the team helps with the young D-line. Oh, 100%, dude. Like, because I know that BG is going to give his all. Like I don't worry about BG not giving his all. Like, if BG wasn't producing, I wouldn't even bring him back. But for a 1-year really cheap deal, I mean, if he went to the sunset, I'd be perfectly fine. Like, I have no issue with him retiring. But if he wanted to come back for another year, now he did have an updated little interview a couple days ago saying that he hasn't talked to Howie Roseman yet. So I'm guessing those talks are going to happen sooner or later. Obviously, before mid-March, he's got to make up his mind of what's going on. If the Eagles even want him back at this point, so we'll see. Rex Yang says, yo, what up, Joey? Having BG on the... Oh, I already read that. Benjamin Allen says, yo, Joey, would you do 3 first-round picks for Myles Garrett for repeat? No, that's stupid. And I understand these 2 first-round picks that you give up, or not 3, but say it's 2, because this first-round pick is really a second, and next year's could potentially be a second. Potentially. Nothing promised. I'm not trying to be, I'm not going to drive my ego up a little bit because this team is way too fucking good not to reach it there again in the Super Bowl. But 3, no. That's no. For a 29-year-old, bro, for a luxury player, nah. They're not going to. They'd be stupid to want that. Like, there's the on top of it, 18, and then you have to give this guy a big deal. Like, they have to be fair too. At the same time, they got to be fair. $18 million cap hit next year. Got to rework his deal. Nah, that ain't happening. Oh yeah, Milton Williams is definitely gone. It's 100% gonna. He's there's already been third-party rumors on Milton Williams, on some of his people that are close to him, saying that he's not taking a discount or anything. Like, I don't blame these guys. You have to let guys go. You have to change. You have to change over time. This is the name of the game, bro. We're producing players now. The Eagles are not. Us fans are not used to production and young guys. We're not used to this much success, and especially instant impact and then winning a Super Bowl on top of it. We're not used to that, you know? It's a new era with this coaching staff, bro. It's a new era. Alfredo says, Deeper, I think BG is coming back. Might as well. Kay says, I think there's a good chance that we land Shermer Stewart in the draft. The man is athletic demon his size for where in perfect position to refine. Yeah, what position he play? I have no idea who that is. I couldn't tell you. Pat says Milton and Sweat earn their bags. 100%, dude. Like at the end of the day, we extended Josh Sweat one time. You know, they could. The only thing, if you were to ask me, who's the more easy to re-sign? Okay, between Josh Sweat and Milton Williams, I think Josh Sweat is obviously more. They could re-sign him a lot easier just because I know that Josh Sweat wants to be in a good situation. He said, yeah, money's great. He said this after the Super Bowl. He's like, money's great, but I want to be in a good – he doesn't want to be on a losing team every year getting paid. The teams that are going to pay you top dollar are the teams that literally have no fucking team. And that's not always true, but most of the time it is true, you know. Gage says Ojomo, Young, Booker. Yeah, Byron Young, that's an Alabama guy. I mean, they brought him up too. Like Byron Young, that Byron Young move is more of a next year type of move for us. Byron Young, Moro Ojomo's a 7th round. Look what Moro Ojomo's fucking done. Even Thomas Booker, like Booker looked good in the preseason. He got into some games and made some plays this year. Like Thomas Booker, like he's a nice little depth piece. As soon as like some guys, like they could sense out the guys that are going to show us some flash, man. Gotta trust Vic Fangio, what he does with this roster, bro. Gotta trust it. Ray Coleman, what's going on, man? He says, love listening to the vids when I'm on my way to school. Thanks, Joey. Keep up. I appreciate it so much, Ray. Appreciate it so much. A lot of people say, they're like, oh, when I'm going to work or I'm going to school, or I'm like, damn, like, I guess a lot of people watch in the morning. Like, I put my videos out like 3 a.m. Like 3 a.m. along, so. Benjamin House, hey, Joey, mark my words. Watch my words. Watch what a team give up for Myles Garrett. It ain't going to be 3 first-round picks. You know what I mean? The Commanders ain't giving that shit up for a 29-year-old. They got way more. They need to get younger. They need to spend money where they'll have players for a few. Like they have a lot more they have to do. You know. Alfredo says, Dotson's a great receiver. I've been saying that. There are receipts. We just don't give him enough targets. What he did during the Giants game. I already read that earlier. FN Raw flashed that it's a good year to have a D-line problem. Multiple Pro Bowl DLs could be traded. Multiple high-end DLs will be signed. One of the top 3 prospects will fall on how he should go up. Look, if one of the top DT prospects are there, I would get him. If one of the top defensive end prospects are there, I would get him. I honestly think it's going to be defensive line. That's just me. If that pick is still intact, if that 32nd pick is still intact, okay, I think they take some. I'm going to be looking real close at DTs and defensive ends, especially on Friday. Friday is me and Philly should be streaming the first 2 days of the combine. So should be interesting. Mr. National says, yeah, those 3 a.m. videos are my favorite. I appreciate it so much, man. Means a lot. Alfredo says, why wouldn't Slay and BG want to come back if they can? I would stick, but if I didn't get another ring and I could of it came back one more year. Yeah, so I think the Slay thing, the cornerback 2 situation, whatever it's going to be, if Isaiah Rodgers is coming back, I don't know. This is the only team that took a chance on him when he was getting suspended. No other team took a chance on him. Okay, he won't cost much. He barely played this year. Like, I think Isaiah Rodgers will be very affordable. I would like to give Ringo a chance at that cornerback 2 spot, but I don't know if I'm not on that train yet. I don't know if he's there yet. Needs another off season. Slay can come back, but I'm hoping he's not going to be a fat cat. I don't want him to come back just to not be hungry and just go through the motions and, hey, I just want to end my career in Philadelphia. Like, I don't want that to happen. I'm hoping if Slay comes back, he's going to be more hungry to win another championship next year. You know? Carter's going top 5, maybe. We say this now. We say this shit now. You know what I mean? Last year, 14 offensive players were taken off the board. You know what I mean? You never know. You never know what's going to happen. He might not go top 5. Nuclear Taco says, saw Terrifier 3 finally a few days ago, Joey. Probably the grossest movie I've ever watched. Exactly. That's how you're supposed to feel. That's how you're supposed to feel. D. Brad says they fall into the 20s, then he'll jump up to grab them, no question. Yeah, I mean, it depends how early in the 20s they trade up. From 32, like, would they make a jump from 32 to 20? I mean, I think that's the furthest they could probably maybe go. Maybe. That just depends on what they really have to give up moving up that far. I'm telling you right now, bro. I don't care if it's even Abdul Carter. Like, if it's ain't, like, I'm telling, somebody is gonna be there. Like, I don't think 5. Like, I don't know if 5 edge rushers are gonna go off the board in the first round. I doubt it. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but we'll see. We'll see what some of these needy teams are gonna need. You know, they're gonna need offensive linemen. They're gonna need linebackers. They're gonna need safety. So we'll see what happens, man. You think you know it's going to be a long night, obviously. Like, we're the last pick, so it's going to be a long night. But at the end of the day, you know, we're going to see how it falls, man. That's you know, the draft is like Christmas, bro. It's like it's literally waking up on Christmas. That's a holiday, pretty much for us. Alfredo says, "Gay, it would be wrong if I Slay would be hungry to get another one." Tommy says, "I've heard it looks like Commanders are going to get Garrett. The Eagles are going to make offer they can't turn down, and I'm hearing Nolan Smith involved." Where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? Where is this Nolan Smith? I have not read one fucking... Who is coming up with this Nolan Smith shit? Seriously. Who is coming up with this Nolan Smith is part of the fucking... Who is coming up with this, bro? I have not read that shit one fucking time. Who started this shit? Somebody here started that shit. I can't even believe it's anybody else. Oh, WIP? Come on. Come on. Fucking WIP. Guys, wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Come on now. Come on now. The only person I would respect from WIP is Xander. Xander's like the only guy I actually like. He's a cool guy. These other ones, bro, come on, dude. Nolan Smith getting traded for Miles. Get the Elliott Shore. Come, dude. The one guy I never get reports. The number one guy I never take reports from is Elliott Shore fucking Parks. Come on. You guys are scaring me. You guys need to wake up a little bit. Some of you, not all of you, but some of you. Yeah, but Xander is like realistic. I like Xander because he actually is realistic. Xander's a good dude at Jacob. He's awesome. Awesome. Love the new stuff that he's doing. Awesome guy. So what was I saying before I got into the Nolan Smith thing? Yeah, so it looks like the Commanders have strong interest in trading for Myles Garrett. That's really the big rumor right now. And the Eagles are locked in, ready to swoop in and go get him. Because I feel like Myles Garrett, his number one destination is Philadelphia right now. And if it's an offer that he's not going to refuse, then if they're going all in, dude, they sign Ball and they trade for Myles Garrett, do whatever the fuck you want with this whatever you want to do with this roster. I will sit back. I will have an alcoholic beverage, and I will fucking relax, bro. Guys are scaring the fuck out of me, dude. I'm like, where is this Nolan Smith shit? And you know why I never heard of it? Because I don't listen to WIP. I never fucking do, dude. I don't. The only time I actually see something is when somebody clips it on X. I don't go on their YouTube channel. I don't. I mean, I'm just being honest. I fucking don't, dude. Like, I have to put more respect on the fucking content that's put out. Like just to make up shit like that is just stupid. Sorry, I'm thirsty as hell today. I'm watering down today. Guys are scaring me. Nuclear says, I just don't see why giving up Nolan for Garrett would be smart. No, it's not, because you literally created you're creating a hole. You're creating a hole. It's not even, it makes no sense. You're literally, you're taking one player and you're replacing it with another and you're creating a hole. Like it makes no sense. It makes no sense. D-Brad said, how he talked about them as his presser, his face lights up talking about those. I know it does. I know it does. It's something is on the table, bro. Something is on the table. When the combine is going on, you don't think these guys, this is where the trades happen. When the combine hits, that's when the GMs start talking. That you think the combine is it's just the combine. No. This is where people are making their trades already. Like, this is where, because everybody's there. Everybody's there. Because no one's fully replaced Reddick. It'd be extremely difficult to get done, but if we could execute some kind of sign and trade package with Milton Williams as the headline, it would be a lot easier to get Garrett. No, it won't. That makes no sense. Because he's a free agent. To sign him, no. To sign him makes absolutely no sense. He is technically a free agent, which means that you're saying sign him and then trade him? No. It just doesn't happen that way. It just doesn't. If he was on contract for another year, sure. But if he was on contract for 25 for the 25 season, then sure, like you could package something up with him if that was the case. But to sign him and then having the promise of the other team to take on that whole entire contract, yeah, it's just no. I don't think that's going to happen like that. No. Round says Ringo is raw, but he's about done with his rookie contract the next 2 seasons. He needs experience. Let the dude play. His physical tools are, he needs to get technically. Yeah, it comes down to his downhill. He's great. Like downhill, he's fantastic. His coverage, he's a statue. He's a statue. He's a little slow. His hips are a little fucking slow. He's just, I haven't seen enough. He hasn't played enough. And like you said, bro, Round, like you said, he just hasn't got an opportunity, Fabio Villicano with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, is Jason Peters next O-line coach? I don't know. So Jason Peters officially retired, I think. I think he's going to become, he's going to work with Seattle, I think. He's working, I don't know if he's with Seattle's front office or, I know he's going to be working for Seattle, for the Seahawks. So that's what I heard today. Let's see. Dad says he's definitely not slow, but he doesn't have shifty hips. No, he's not slow. Like, yeah, a 40 is a fucking 40. Like, that doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. It depends on position. Does a 40 really matter for DTs? No. Does, for safeties, for corners? Yes, it definitely matters. No doubt. For certain positions, linebacker, yeah, it definitely matters. But I know we were talking last offseason about Ringo swapping positions, maybe being a safety or, you know what I mean? Just because he's a bigger body and he runs like a fucking 4-3. So we thought, hey, maybe that makes more sense going down the line. I don't know. You know what I mean? Lucas, I actually think we're going to be okay at edge regardless. Nolan and Hunt can play. I'm a little more worried about DT with Milton most likely. I don't even worry about that, bro. You got Jordan Davis, you got Jalen Carter, and you have good depth with Moro Jomo and fucking Thomas Booker. I think they add another guy. They need one more guy in that rotation. I think you get it in this draft, whether it's the first or the second round. Whether it's that 32nd pick, depending if they trade it back, I think they double down defensive line this draft. I really do. I really do. If they make no move for Garrett, I think they still go after if they make a move for Garrett, I still think they go after a DT in this draft. If they can get that Myles Garrett trade without getting rid of that 32nd, that's great. That's even more. I mean, if they give up realistically, if we gave up a second and maybe a second for this year, our second round pick for this year, and maybe another pick, a couple mid-round picks for next, who knows? They have 3 third-round picks for 26. They have 2 fourth rounds for fucking 26. They might get rid of their own pick. Obviously, I would keep that Jets pick. That New York Jets pick, I would keep that third-round pick because they're going to be fucking bad. So that's going to be a high third-rounder. So I'd keep that one. I wouldn't get rid of the Jets third-round pick we got for Reddick in that trade. So we'll see how it goes, man. I just want to know what the compensation is like. What's being talked about with the Myles Garrett compensation? They signed Zach Bond and they signed if they just sign Zach Bond, I'll be sitting fucking comfortable. They signed Zach Bond and they trade for Myles Garrett right under the Commander's fucking nose. I'm full of piss and vinegar. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be just perfectly fine. Fabio Vilcano with the super chat says we need a backup slot corner. That is a big one. Yes. I think slot corner, I think they need depth. I think they need depth safety competition. I think they need depth at that slot cornerback position. That nickel corner position is definitely going to be yes. Take Cooper DeJean off of fucking punt returns. He's too valuable now. He's a star now. He's been a star, but he's more of a star now. Okay? Maddox, obviously, he made a good play in the Super Bowl. It's just so funny how DeJean comes out for a play, and they aim for Avonte Maddox immediately. And when Avonte Maddox jumped in front of that ball, forget about it. I was like, damn, that's insane. But they need depth at that position. Take DeJean off the punt returns, and they need depth, bro. They have no depth. Like I'm just knocking on wood. If they lost Cooper DeJean to an injury for a few games, they would have been cooked at that fucking position. They would have been cooked. D. Brad said, "I'm with you, Joe. We signed Bond back tonight. I don't care what else happens. We're ready to roll." Yeah, even Bond and back. Honestly, dude, if they just signed Bond and I'm just waiting for other moves, I'd be fine. I'd be perfectly fine. I'm not worried about Mekhi Becton. I think he's going to get re-signed. For me, I think he's going to get re-signed. I can't see him going anywhere. After all the shit he went through, he has been attacked by the Jet fan base, the Jet New York media, called out. I mean, the bad relationships he had with the Jets and the coaches and this and that, and called this and called that, and switching his fucking position. And I can't see him going anywhere. Chris says, can Anais Smith return punts? He couldn't in the not really. I mean, hopefully he's better. Yeah, he returned some punts, and his vision was horrible, and he fumbled. And he fumbled the ball, too, out of bounds. If you remember in that preseason game last year, he was horrible on punt returns. His vision was like, what? He's got to stop. He's got to stop, doing his YouTube vlog videos. Needs to, start, he needs to start concentrating a little bit more on some other things. Anais Smith, I want to see him become a depth piece at receiver. I want him to really thrive, man. Yeah, Covey's a restricted free agent. He'll be cheap. He'll be nothing. They'll definitely, Michael says Covey RFA. He's a restricted, so they'll bring him back. They'll bring him back. I'm not worried about Covey not coming. I like Covey at punt returns. I mean, even when they sat everybody out of that Giants game, who was the next punt returner after when Covey was already out? Who was the next punt returner after DeJean? It was JAHAN Dotson, So I don't mind Dotson at punt returns at all either, Will Shipley maybe. I mean, he's a kick returner now, but I actually remember fans slamming the back. Why? How do we how is anybody slamming? I'm not talking about now. Even when it happened, that was a low risk, high reward move. The guy's fucking 25 years old, bro. At barely a cost. He's at barely a cost. If you're not barely paying for somebody that could potentially start for you at on the offensive line, I mean, how are people slamming? How are people slamming that? I thought we got a lot of good attention from that. I thought a lot of people thought good things about that signing. To be honest with you, Fabio Villicana says Anaya Smith convert to a slot cornerback. Yeah, I mean, we've always thought of him as a slot. He was a wide receiver 3. That's what we really had him. But he was hurt a couple times, and he just looked really bad when he had his moments, when he had his opportunity. His opportunities, he did nothing with them. So being hurt doesn't help you, and obviously playing bad on the field doesn't help you. So that mixed in both, what are you going to do? So, Mr. National, nobody Eagles Nation slandered. Now, no one I don't think anybody slandered the fucking Mekhi Becton signing. That I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's cool. Like, imagine if we could turn him into something, like, and just turn his career around, revive his career, and they did. I mean, the way he's crying after the Super Bowl and so, I mean, good for him, man. Like, I feel for him, dude. Like, that must have sucked what he went through with the Jets. That fucking Joe Namath sold his fucking soul. He sold his soul to win a Super Bowl. Joe Namath like went to like he drew that devil thing on the ground and he was like, let me win this Super Bowl one time for this fan base, and I will make the deal of this team being bad for the next fucking 100 years. I don't know what he did. He drew. I forgot what those demon things they draw on the ground, what they're called. I forgot what the hell it's called, but you know what I mean. The satanic Dallas Cowboy star. The satanic Cowboy star. It's funny, Gage. It's funny, man. Let's see. John said, what would you give up for the Myles Garrett trade? If I had to give up the 32nd, I probably would. I probably would give up that pick. If they don't, I might give up the second for this year and maybe a second and maybe a third for next year. Like, I don't think it's going to cost. I don't think it's going to be as expensive as everyone thinks it's going to be. I really don't. A pentagram it's called. You fucking guys would know that. I'm into horror movies. I don't even know what the fuck that thing's called. Fucking a pentagram. He drew a pentagram on the ground. Was like his eyes turned white like the Undertaker. He was like, "Give me this Super Bowl." Man. Nate said, if that needs to happen, doesn't that mean it will get banned? Feels like the owners, bro. Even if they did ban it, bro. Okay, even if they did ban it, regardless, if the tush push was banned, you don't think the Eagles are gonna find another loophole? Like, you don't think they'll be successful on QB sneaks, bro? They'll be successful. Trust me. I don't think that's gonna get banned. A lot of coaches hate it. I think the only coach I've seen, I know the Miami Dolphins coach said he liked it, because everyone can't. Look, if all teams in the NFL were, if every NFL team was successful on a push tush every single game, then I could see it being removed, but I don't. I saw Josh Allen do it in this fucking playoff game, and he totally couldn't do it. I've seen the Packers do it. They can't do it. The Packers want it gone. The Commanders want it gone. The Buffalo Bills want it gone. The Chiefs, I think, want it gone too. Obviously, they're butthurt right now. Godzilla says, I think Garrett is the first and a second at minimum. I think that would be fair. Yeah. I think that's fair. First and a second. And our first this year is not a 20th pick. It's not a 15th. It's not a 10th. It's not a 5th. It's not a top 3. It's the fucking 32nd pick. It's a second round pick. Andy Reid gave it props. I think the GM said he didn't like it. The GM said he didn't like it. Oh yeah, by the way, Travis Kelce had a cold. He was sick. He had an illness before the Super Bowl. By the way, he said that today. That fucking GM said that today to Pro Football Talk at the fucking combine. He had a cold. He had a cold. He had an illness. If I was, dude, if I was to say something, shit, the Eagles were all sick during the playoffs. I hate the Chiefs, bro. G Sam says that vid of Jordan Love trying to sneak was disgusting. You know what the other one was really disgusting? The one where, dude, Josh Allen would Josh Allen would take a whole fucking sidestep and then he would go forward. Like, what? Like, what is that, dude? Are you afraid to get hit? Like, what's your deal, bro? Josh Allen did that shit too. It was horrible. But yeah, it's got to get banned, Guys, I think Cleveland could try to get a future first from us, not this year's. And you know what? I wouldn't even be opposed to honestly, I wouldn't even mind that. Because realistically, it's gonna be a late fucking first anyway, Potentially, it could be the 30-second. It could be another 30-second pick. I mean, you don't know. You know what I mean? Michael says, "Yo, you think the Eagles will trade Pickett for compensation and clearing up $2.6 million? McKee should take over the backup spot." There has been little rumors regarding Pickett being traded. So, what did I say when we trade for Pickett? I said, bro, they're going to build him up. They're going to build his value up, and he's going to get traded in a couple of years. And let me tell you something, that could happen. Does he have a ton of value? No, but did he show some value? Sure. So they free up how much? Do they actually free that much up? I mean, it's not a lot, but it's a nice little chunk, though. I thought Pickett played good. Godzilla said Pickett played okay. I thought he was fine. 2.6 million? That's a nice little chunk of money, bro. That's a nice little chunk of money. Just think about it, bro. Like, they could screw with Jalen Hurts' contract. He's got a $21 million cap, but they can give him more of an up-signing bonus right now and free up more cap space. The Jalen Hurts contract, they can do whatever they want with. Even Saquon Barkley, technically, he plays this year, and then 26 is an option year. Dude, I'm so pissed off that Barkley is not 26 years old. I'm so pissed that Barkley is literally how old is Barkley? 27, 28 right now? It just sucks that he's just late in his career. Not late, but you know what I mean. He's 27? Okay. He's 27. So not bad. Okay. They can mess with his contract. I thought he was 28. That's what I thought he was. I thought he was 28, but it could be wrong. They can mess with his contract. Lane Johnson restructured $2.9 million. The Dallas Goedert contract is another one they got to fix. That's another one they really have to. Yeah, they got to fix that one. He's 11.8 against the cap. What do you guys think they should do with Dallas Goedert, honestly? He's 30 years old now. He's got one more. This is his last year on his contract, and 26 is a voided year, so they can get out of it after this year. Now, he is 28. Okay. So, I don't know what they're going to do there with Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert, he just misses too many games, bro. At 11.8 million cap it wouldn't be bad, but he's missing 5 to 8 games a fucking season. Calcaterra can't be your number one because he can't block, unfortunately. Jack Stahl was a tight end that they relied on him more blocking and more and more reliable hands. But I think Calcaterra is great. I think he's good. Smeet Trey says, Joey, are we re-signing Ball? Still says probably not. Well, I don't know why it's dogged down, why they won't. They have no choice, bro. Oren Burks is a free agent. Trotter Jr. just hasn't had an opportunity, but why hit the reset button, bro, when things are going good? Like, especially at that position. It's not like Zach Baughan's been playing like that the last few years, bro. Guy didn't even start 6 games for the Saints. Ben Van Sermon is technically a free agent, is going to get re-signed to the practice squad. Ben Van Sermon's coming off a knee injury. Nakobe Dean has the patellar tendon injury, which is a serious injury that he's not going to come back till October, November. Technically, he might not be back till he might not be fully himself by the fucking playoffs. Like, what choice do you have right now at tight end? Realistically, they could draft one, sure. Early, I don't know. Jacob says Zach Ertz. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if he re-signs. Ertz pissed me off, bro. And he was like, Ertz was pissing me off a little bit. He was like, well, I wish I was with Jaden Daniels. I wish I was a lot younger playing with Jaden Daniels for a lot more years. I wish he was my quarterback all these years. And he, like, turned me the wrong way after he signed there a little bit. And then those fucking comments. For some reason. Whatever. I don't know. Bro, did you forget you won, your first championship in Philadelphia where you were drafted? Like, do you remember all that? So infatuated with fucking Jaden Daniels. Fuck is that, dude? What is that? D. Brad says, Ball not leaving. You guys are nuts. Miles says, keep Goddard, draft a tight end deeper class this year. That's good, though. Dre says, I've been looking at tight ends, and there are some good ones in this draft. Ertz found God and lost his mind. Dad says LSU has Mason Taylor tight end. I also like. Miles Calcaterra is good second at best. Yeah, it's 100% true. James, I didn't see that interview. It was he said it post Super Bowl. I don't know when it was, but the quote came out. Ertz has never looked happy since he left the Eagles. EN890 says, Bond is priority number 1 for re-signing. 100%, bro. 100%. I always love Ertz. He didn't mean that. No, I get it, dude. Like, I get it. Like, this is like because really since he left the Eagles, he didn't really have any success. He went to the Cardinals. He ended up getting hurt. He was really just a Band-Aid at that point. And finally, like, he got to the Commanders and, he stayed healthy and he played well. Ertz could have been a 2-time champ. Godzilla, I just know that Howie values and that's the lines. It's true, bro. But it's starting to change a little bit because Fangio is starting to have say in this defense now. It's, I understand it's final say with Howie Roseman. We know, like, when it comes to the active roster after training camp, when the cuts start happening, Howie Roseman always has the last 2 roster spots are always in Howie's. Howie has control over those last 2 roster spots every year. He cried real tears leaving. No, he did. He was upset, no doubt. Fletcher Cox was like, hugged him. He's like, you fucked up, dude. You shouldn't have went to the Commanders. You fucked up. Speech Races still says Bond is wanting 15, 16 million for 3 years. I mean, honestly, if you get him between 14 to 16, I think that's a steal. When he gets to the 19 plus range, that's where you have to worry. 14 to 16 million dollar for Zach Baughan a fucking year. I think that's a steal, bro. I think that's literally. I think that's way affordable. Gustavo Mez says, still feels like like a fever dream that we actually won the Super Bowl from the bullshit from last year to champion. I know, dude. We said, imagine what the story would look like. Like 23, you get the 10-1, bad coaching, bad everything, no sense of urgency, no fight back, no pushback. Defense fell apart. You lost the last 6 out of 7 games. Get into the playoffs, totally embarrass yourselves. And then you go into a 24 season with a couple changes at coordinator, some impactful draft picks, and really good production from your players and coaching behind it. Shit. Tommy said that 100% a steal, but will the Birds break the bank on a linebacker finally? They well, yeah, they broke the bank on a fucking running back finally. Instead of having these product backs like Swift and Miles Sanders, like that was like just like Jalen Hurts said after the Super Bowl when it was over to Saquon, he said you were the missing piece, and he was the missing piece, bro. He changed his philosophy. He might not draft a running back top 10, but I'm sure as hell he'll pay one. And you're talking, this isn't just a running back talent, a 3-down running back talent. This is a fucking generational gold jacket talent, bro. So if you don't think that he's going to sign you don't think he's going to sign, let me tell you something. Like, Vic Fangio had a lot to say about this with Zach Bond playing this year. Howie Roseman signed Zach Bond as a backup outside linebacker / special teamer. And Vic Fangio was like, no, I see him as an inside linebacker. Got the green dot. Obviously, once Nakobe got hurt, he would have had the green dot if Nakobe wasn't here, obviously. Like, come on now. You know? Come on now. What a story to go from collapse in 23-24 to Super Bowl champs. I know. James, what do you think happens this NFL offseason? I think it's going to be I think this offseason is going to come down to your free agency is going to come down to restructures, moving contracts around, moving money around. It's going to be a retaining year. You're going to retain players to make another run. You're going to retain players this year. You're going to lock up some guys. I think they'll lock up a couple guys. And I think you go into this draft, like, I think you have enough for one really big, juicy trade. And then you go into this draft, whatever you're going to use here, and do some good things. So, Speed Trace says, especially with Dean being such a question mark with his devastating injury, we have to re-sign Ball. Yeah, you have to. You have no choice, dude. You like, seriously, if they go into next season, they go into the season with fucking Ben Van Simmeren and fucking Trotter. Like, come on now. Like, that makes no fucking sense, dude. That makes no sense. Nate says that's why it makes sense the Eagles got Huff, because it was Fangio's first year with how he tried to do the same thing this year. He would have ran it by Fangio, and they don't get Huff. I don't think Fangio wanted Huff. That's the whole thing. I don't think Fangio liked Huff from the start. I think that was purely he didn't get no permission from anybody. I think Howie went out there and said, I'm going to sign this guy and let's see what happens. And this was purely because we didn't know what Nolan Smith was going to turn into at that time, because we lost our closer in Hassan Reddick. You lost a guy that's a closer, bro. Like, he, 4th down, a minute and a half left, the game is on the line. Like, you count on Hassan Reddick for those big plays. I ate crow. Trust me, I'm the most humble fucker that's out there. I'll tell you, if I didn't like Nolan Smith's offseason, and especially Nakobe Dean and that open practice when he got burnt like a million times in coverage. Like, I was like, Jesus, like, Kenneth Gainwell was burning him on fucking wheel routes. Like, what was I supposed to expect? The defense had to gel. They just had to gel. And obviously Nakobe Dean was like, I need to, like, put in more work, and he put in extra work in the offseason. So I ate my crow and I eat it. I I wasn't feeling good about both of them going to the season. That's just the truth. Nothing wrong with that. You know? Nick Bolton is a free agent. We can get him for less than Bourne. Matt says it's like how he said the ways of the team has changed as compared to previous years. It really has, though. It has. It's changed dramatically. You paid a running back $12 million a year. You know, that's huge. You put even drafting 2 DBs the first 2 fucking rounds. The last time the Eagles did that was early 2000s, bro. They never fucking do that. They put draft compensation into their secondary. They never do that. Never do that. It's all about defensive line, rotation, depth, defensive line. That's all they've cared about. And then once someone gets hurt on that defensive line, we're all freaking out. We're all, oh my God, our secondary's gonna get exposed. Like that shit's done now. That shit's done over with now. Now we're actually, you start with your defensive line and you spread out and you put money into other positions. Yeah, Lito and Shepard. Yeah, Lead and Sheldon were the last time. Yeah. And look what happened, bro. You know what I mean? You didn't win a fucking championship, but, you know, you drafted 2 guys that were highly fucking productive. Bring back Devin White. God. I understand why they did that now. I think because what happened was, because I think Devin White was shocked he wasn't starting for this team, because every training camp practice, Devin White was the number 1 middle linebacker. Every game, every practice, every day. I reported on training camp every day. He was the starting middle linebacker every single practice. I think the Eagles were like, Nakobe Dean's finally healthy, and he can't sit on the bench another year. So they got rid of him. I think because Nakobe Dean was finally healthy, he went through. I think Devin White was an insurance policy for the offseason because they didn't know if Nakobe Dean was going to stay healthy. I think that was the reason why they signed him. You know, if Milt leaves, could we get Hargrave back cheaply? I don't know what Javon Hargrave. I don't know. Did he get released? Bring back Jalen Reagor. Matt says, I ate my fair share of crow when it comes to oh yeah, 100%. I mean, shit. God, forget it. Does Devin White get a ring? No. Nah, stay away from Hargrave. Yeah. I'm done. I'm not bringing. We don't need, like I said, go in the draft, bro. Go in the draft. Just draft. Stop getting so, like, look, if there's a mid-tier signing for depth, then go do it. If it's a mid-tier, like middle of the pack signing, do it for depth, whatever. But realistically, guys, just draft. Just fucking draft and produce. That's why you have OTAs, training camp. That's why you have all these moments in the offseason for that. You're fine. We'll be fine. You have Booker, Morrow, Jomo's getting better every single year. Just relax. You know what I mean? Eagle fans just want to go out in free agency and spend. It's not like it used to be anymore, bro. We have turned a new fucking leaf now. We're into fucking production and doing our homework on these draft picks and getting production out of the players with the right coaching behind it. It's not those years where the fucking team looks good on paper. How many years has this team looked good on paper? And then we go into a season and we're like, oh, fuck. You know, like that's what happens, bro. Consistent coaching has been a big issue with this team the last few seasons as Nick has really been here. No, yeah. Godzilla says, I hate drafting for need. You always end up reaching. Yes. The biggest problem before like Andy Weidel and these other guys would bump heads with Howie Roseman in the draft room because you know, you had the analytical, you had the regular, you had the analytical picks. The analytical picks killed us. Drafting for need fucking kills you. It kills you. And this is when we weren't drafting from SEC schools. And when we drafted Devontae Smith and Landon Dickerson, Jeffrey Lurie was like, oh, we should be drafting from these schools more often. Well, no shit, dude. No shit. When Sirianni was hired, Jeffrey Lurie he took a step back. Let Howie Roseman was bumping heads with the analytical department. And yeah, it's annoying, dude. It's really annoying. Milton Williams, as weird as it sounds, Milton Williams was an analytical pick. Milton Williams was top 5 in like a bunch of fucking categories and workouts and testing. Like, I think Milton was a big analytical pick and turned out to be a good player. I could 100% agree. I think that's what happened with him. TJ Edwards, Hargrave, Rasul Douglas. Well, Hargrave was a free agent. TJ Edwards was a talent. They never started him early. Jim Schwartz had him. Jim Schwartz barely played him. Barely did. In his early days, barely played him. And we know he had talent. But now you have an opportunity. I mean, you're talking, we shouldn't have let go of TJ Edwards. Bro, like, Zach Bond is everything we've wanted in a linebacker. You're not talking about a guy that's just a downhill guy. This guy can cover. This guy is smart. I mean, Jesus, dude. Like, TJ Edwards was a good player, but Zach Bond is way better. Who's the guy from Miami? That was Vic's guy. The guy for 3 years, Van Ginkel. Van Ginkel was a nobody for 3 years. Last year of his contract, VANGIO comes in, turns him into a fucking superstar. 6 sacks, 50 pressures, 53 pressures, something like that for Van Ginkel with the Miami Dolphins under Fangio. And on top of everything else, Fangio never had a GM like Howie Roseman building a fucking roster like this and to coach behind that. You know what I mean? It all changes in that aspect. Bond equals Van Ginkel? No, Bond is better than Van Ginkel. He got snubbed, bro, defensive player of the year, bro. 5th on the list. This guy was the best player defensively. Sorry, but he was best player defensively. Over 150 fucking tackles, and I mean, 4 forced fumbles and 6. I mean, it's insane, dude. I'm ready to go, bro. I'm ready for Howie Roseman to get his moves on. I'm ready to get this thing going. This stream is sponsored by BetUS, so definitely go check them out if you guys have not. Appreciate so much from our partners at BetUS. So yeah, we're here. We are fucking here, bro. So the schedule of what's going to happen. So Friday, Saturday, me and Philly are going to be streaming the combine, the most important positions. The first day is defensive line. So it's perfect. Friday's defensive line. I forgot what else is going on. But Friday, Saturday, we should be doing the Philly shakedown for both of those days. We'll have videos. We'll have all that great stuff. Once we get into March, I'll be streaming like every day. Probably like a few days before free agency. We're going to not like the first day of March. We're going to go like when we're 3 days out from free agency, we're going to start streaming every day. Once free agency starts, we'll be streaming every lunchtime. We're not going to be streaming at night. If anything breaks, we'll stream. I'll have a video on everything, all of that stuff. If you guys, 220 in the chat, if you guys haven't subscribe the channel, like the stream if you guys haven't. We'll have a video out tomorrow early, 3 a.m. as usual. Check out the Philly Shakedown podcast merch as well if you guys have not, for the high-sprung polyester shirts. Doesn't crack, doesn't fade. Definitely go check it out. Link in the description. I'll put the link in the live chat as soon as I'm done. And check out the Main Thing t-shirts as well. And if you guys haven't checked out the other Shakedown merch, there is a bunch of stuff that we have from all of this year. So definitely check out all of it going forward. There's a lot more coming. So if you guys haven't checked out that, definitely check it out. Link is in the description and in the live chat for any Philly Shakedown merch. Definitely order if you guys have it. Will be shipped out ASAP. Any questions, just email me on stuff, on anything realistically. So, other than that, I think that's really it. We kind of went through everything, and I appreciate everybody joining the stream tonight. We'll have a very busy weekend this weekend with the combine and a lot more going on. So, yeah, March 12th is free agency, right? Dad says March 12th is free agency. So, yeah, yo, dude. Dad says crazy. It's already combine, dude. When your season ends in December, bro, you're waiting like 3 months. When you're in a Super Bowl, especially after winning it, everything comes by like 2 seconds. Free agency, draft, combine, everything. It comes by so quick. Pause. And yeah, man, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. So, we'll probably, if free agency is March 12th, we'll probably start streaming a few days before. I'm not gonna go crazy like I did last year. I went through like the whole month of fucking March. I was streaming like every day, but we'll stream like 2 days before free agency. Free agency, obviously, and we'll stream for like a week and a half straight, like every day, and just sit in the afternoon and just, anything breaks, we'll be here for it. And you guys could join me on this little adventure for the 25 Eagles free agency. All right. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys probably Friday, Saturday for live streaming purposes, and we'll have videos out the rest of the week, obviously. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you guys on the next one. You guys enjoy all of it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Like the stream if you guys have it. Check out the pinned comment. The pinned comment for memberships up top if you guys have it right here for the draft highlight reactions, all the extra content you're gonna be getting. I'll be starting that really soon going forward, and we'll be back soon. All right, you guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Shakes, what up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.